Star Trek will not be presented tonight, so that we may bring you the following special program.
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners. Welcome back again. Time again for Word Balloon, the comic conversation show. John Suntress here. It's an episode of Trek Watch, and we got Franco here. We got Wayne, and we got Sidney Chaplin, Inspector Clouseau's third cousin, Mitch, in disguise. Judy in disguise. That's what you are, with glasses.
And Senor Istranastro.
Are you going to overthrow the podcast? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I'm going to start banging my shoe on the table. I should after watching this 2 weeks of garbage, but I digress. It's your show. You start, then I'll start.
Oh, are we starting on the episodes already?
Oh, we may as well. I'm sorry, everybody, with C2E2 and just everything in general. I missed last week, but we'll make up for it. Although we did I initially labeled this episodes 4, 5, and 6. I'm like, no. The Trill episode was 4, and we covered the Trill episode.
Yeah, we did.
So we got the episode 5, which gave us a bit of an exploration, I suppose, of the Breen, and along with some Locke and Mock and whatever their names are. What are their names, Wayne? Huh?
Lock, and Barrel.
Lock, Stock, and Barrel. Okay,
there you go.
That's the name of their store that they have at one of the Federation outposts.
Lock and Mall.
Lock and Mall.
Lock and Mall, baby.
Yes. And
I love Lock and Mall.
Yeah, there you go. Wow.
Jukebox, baby. Oh, we got flagged. There you go.
Exactly. Hopefully it's not that bad, but you never know with YouTube. It's totally true. Let's start with episode 5, the Lock and Mall and the Breen on the one hand. Yeah, I know. And yeah, believe me, I know. I mean, we could just say sucks and immediately move on. There you go, Mitchie. Nice sweatshirt.
Yeah, I was just like, hey,
I was going to say, unfortunately, you're
Trek Watch. This is false advertising. You should be sued by the FTC because there's no Trek to watch, buddy. It's Drek Watch. Oh,
we'll get to 6 because I'm actually of two minds when it comes to the 6th episode. But for the 5th episode with Lock and Mall and the Breen, on the one hand, because it's what I've always said about a lot of these alien races that we kind of know. Well, what are they doing now in the 31st or 32nd century? I want to know. So on the one hand, I'm like, oh, okay, fine. But really, other than the usual CW drama, did they really tell us much about the Breen? I suppose a little bit about their caste system. But it's like all they did, much like the Borg in general, in the previous shows, where I will knock old Trek a bit. As we learned about the Borg, they became less mysterious and kind of boring. And I think what they gave us on the Breen added nothing to the interesting mystery of them needing the environmental suits and all that. And it's like, well, I thought they needed those to breathe in regular Earth atmosphere, but I guess Maul doesn't need it.
Yeah, and do they crystallize, change color, become translucent like a jellyfish, like on purpose or not? Like, I don't,
Yeah. Again, real murky, not a good excellent. Maybe we've got a handful of episodes, so maybe we'll learn more. If the Breen,
and also, what's the security like? Yeah, what's the security like on that platform? Because I know he's part security on those flashback scenes, but then you got all these other guys, and he's just having like full blown 3-hour conversations with this girl. Like, before, no one notices this is happening. Yes, at one point they put that hologram, like a camouflage thing, but then the guy walks right up to it and pushes the button and says, "Ha ha! You're hiding here, but I knew you were here the whole time." Like, I didn't understand any of these security details that was happening.
I agree. No, it's
You know
again.
what? Okay.
No, go ahead, Mitch.
Can I comment about the whole mirror universe thing? Because I started.
100%. We'll get to it. But we'll start.
I had to call a friend of mine, Rob, who's like, watched Star Trek when it came on in the 60s. He's that old, and he's the lifelong Trekkie guy. I had no idea what the hell was going on in this episode. I'm like, what do we do? What's happening here? Things happen, but here's the part I called Franco about. This takes place before Captain Kirk went to the Mirror universe, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The Discovery, when it started, was years prior to Kirk.
Okay. Well, yes. First,
and they encountered Lorca and the whole, alternate whatever
Right.
universe on their show before they got zapped into the future. So Starfleet or whoever, the Federation, was then familiar with this parallel universe with the ISS, all that stuff. Even though they didn't tell anybody about it because Kirk didn't know anybody. I'm like, you think something that big? Hey, guess what? We discovered a mirror universe. We should tell everybody. But I digress because, they didn't tell
no, that's a massive continuity problem.
But here's the deal. They're in the future. Book. Now, they're 800 years in the future, 1,000 years in the future, whatever.
Yeah, I think 1,000
About
from their
800.
time,
Yeah.
800 from the 24th century. They're in the 32nd century.
And just for argument's sake, we're going to go, of course, it's the ISS Enterprise. There's tons of other ships, but of course.
I hated that, but keep
And
going.
but that annoyed the shit out of me because I'm like, really? And then.
Oh, and also Saru was on that ship.
Yeah, and Saru, and she reads a thing, and they were led in a rebellion by such a, Saru, you
Action
did
Saru.
your job.
Here's my Action Saru imitation.
Yeah. So Book knows all about the mirror universe, and he says it like it's like, oh, they're from Italy. Oh,
As soon as they go in. As soon as they go in.
That's how
Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah, that's right. There we are.
it was like it's nothing major. No, like, oh my God, we're in a parallel universe type of thing. Nothing. It's like poof. Oh, that's the mirror world. That reaction he had just ticked the hell out of me because it's like, wouldn't you be a little bit more concerned? What the hell's going on? Why is that here? What are the universes colliding? That should be the whole point. When you said they were going to do a mirror episode, I was looking forward to it because I've always enjoyed those, every one of them. Deep
Really?
Space.
Also because get me out of this Discovery universe because I don't want to be in it.
Maybe the other one's more. Maybe the other one's more interesting, But that bothered the hell out of me. And then the whole thing with is Locke the girl one, the one with the
Maul.
hair that
Maul's
looks
the
like
girl.
that's Maul. The one that looks
Okay,
like
Locke's the guy. All right.
yeah, she looks like Pris from Blade Runner with the white punky hair or something
Yes,
like that.
and Zan from Farscape.
Okay, yeah, I can see that too. So that storyline's going on, and then you got Burnham and Book going on, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I literally had to call up people and said, what was the point of the story? I watched it twice and I didn't get it, and I lost my little goatee. But the thing of it is, I don't
You're no longer in the mirror universe.
Yeah, this is the Mirror Mitch.
It's Mirror Mitch. I didn't even realize. Sorry, Mitch. Yeah,
And see, you guys didn't even react. That's the funny that you reacted less than Book did. Like, oh, that's the Mirror Mitch.
Well,
That's
I
on
assumed Clouseau more so than I did Mirror
Yeah.
Mitch.
But that just annoyed the crap out of me. The
Yeah,
fact that they had this concept,
Yes.
they've gone to the well so many times. It's always usually good with stories. The Kira one on Deep Space Nine, even when they did the Tilly one earlier on, when she was like
Empress Tilly was very
Empress
funny.
Tilly.
Whatever her deal
Yeah.
When
was.
did that happen? I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to do your greatest hits thing one last time. We're going to see all the other alternate characters. What a waste of concept. Why did you even have to make it the mirror universe? It really had no bearing on the story.
Well,
don't
you're
think
right.
so.
You're 100% right. And
Anyway,
even
that's
further,
my
as-
thing. I'm done. I was so pissed at the whole thing. I was like, "F this show." But
Well,
anyway,
as you said, and especially they tease, oh my God, it's the Enterprise. So
Right.
my buddy who's been on the show before, Scott Larson, is like, maybe we'll see footage of Mira Lorca, or maybe we'll see footage. And I'm like, no,
Wah,
you know,
wah, wah.
yeah, they're too. I'm like, they're too cheap. If anything, maybe we'll see an old video of Mir Spock, or maybe we'll see an old video of Mira Kirk, something like that. But no, they're such cheap jerks. I will try very hard not to swear, but they are such cheap jerks that all we got was the ship, which obviously is just a set that's sitting there being unused for the moment, or however they read.
or they're using it on Strange New Worlds.
Well, that's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And that's my point. I'm like, they'll probably pull somebody from the Strange New Worlds rotation, and I'm like, well, Paul Wesley is already on a guest star sort of contract, so maybe they'll pull him in, and we'll see Paul Wesley's version of Mira Kirk. No. And then, well, it's her brother. I hate that.
Oh, that's
but
my
maybe
brother's,
we'll see their
my
spot.
brother's station over there. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, I know that. Jesus, I know, man. It's like, it's his chair. Great,
Yeah.
fantastic. Oh my
Whatever.
God. And,
I like that the guest spot was Spock's chair. They couldn't even afford an actor, so they just
Yeah.
got a chair.
that's what it was, man. But no, you're 100% right, Mitch. This had no need to throw in the mirror. All they want to do, again, they want to hit you with member berries. And in fact, we'll talk about that for the 6th episode as well, with denobulants being tangentially involved in this
And
prime
also,
directive.
I have another question. So they're after these 5 puzzle pieces, right? So they go
Yeah.
to the mirror universe to get this puzzle piece. But doesn't that say that there's another one of these scientist groups that have hidden 5 pieces over there, and one of those is over here? Then, I didn't understand all that.
Well, again, it only complicates the story in a confusing way that doesn't make sense. No, you're
would
right.
it work, or would those be like 8, positive and negative batteries? You can't use them the other way around. Like they go to put it in, like, oh, this won't work because
How come we didn't even, given that Action Saru was the liberator of because that's what that's what happened. That Action Saru, Mirror Saru, led a rebellion and took a bunch of refugees into this Enterprise, and sent them to the Prime universe. Okay, couldn't we have gotten even Doug Jones as Action Saru to leave a video or something? No, of course not. Crap, and they beat another horse to death. And honestly, I appreciate what you're saying, Mitch, about Old Trek and Mirror Universe. Outside of the first season Disco Mirror Universe thing, it got progressively worse. I really hated Mir Burnham being emperor, and I hated the whole Giorgio subplot of that, and the Cirque du Soleil celebration of Mir Burnham that we got in Disco's 3rd season. Crap, all crap, man, and very annoying crap. And yeah, you're right. I think it was a big tease to call it Mirror, and it had literally nothing to do with the Mirror.
So
universe.
at the end of the show, unless I fell asleep, because I've done that before on this thing, they brought the ISS Enterprise into their galaxy or their world, whatever the is.
Yeah.
Okay. That's so.
Well,
now we have another 800-year-old ship that no one can run it because no one knows how to use that old technology.
Oh no, I think
They
first
can
of all,
retrofit it.
yeah, and
Huh?
also, yeah, but also, enough of the Discovery crew was contemporary with regular universe's Enterprise, and much like what we saw in the original Mirror, I would imagine that Discovery, like a Jet Reno or somebody, could figure out how to run it, or Adira, as they're showing Adira more and more adept.
I would transfer to that ship, and if that thing showed up, I'm like, look, I'm off this thing. Get me off Discovery. I'll go on the ISS.
A couple
Enterprise.
people did they? Yeah, they.
Yeah, they're like, it's a better job. They got better dental plans.
I don't know. What drives me nuts is, again, there, and I think I said this in the chat with you guys. Like, who's the chief engineer of Discovery?
I thought it was Jet Reno, but you said it's not.
She is. I looked it up.
No, I thought it was Stamets.
No.
Stamets? No, Stamets wasn't, because he was the
Stamets
the
is the
mushroom
sport.
thing.
Is the sport drive
drive
special.
guy.
Maybe it was Spock's chair.
it's like they don't want to have a chief engineer, or even Culber is not the chief medical officer. It's the black woman that they occasionally show, I believe. But again, it's like these are important crew member jobs, and I don't understand this. Well, they're part of the medical team, but or Culber is.
So
But
who is the engineer?
I don't think they've ever really declared one.
It's
And
Scotty.
in fact, when you go to when you go to Strange New Worlds, again, there are engineering problems, and what's her face was never
Carol Kane.
Yeah, was never really involved in episodes, and it's like you're writing episodes where so and so should come in and be involved. They're the specialist. No, better not. It's so freaking weird. I'm going to try and use freaking instead of
It's so weird.
Well, I'll use the
It's
other
so
word.
weird. Yeah, I know, but it's driving me nuts. Here, Don says my new rationalization for the whole show is if I cared about the characters more, I would forgive the tremendously bad storytelling. Yeah. No, I agree.
The other day, Wayne's who sent that picture of the entire cast, and we were trying to guess what their names were. I said after 5 seasons, I got like 4 out of 10. I go, I think that guy's called this and that guy's called that. I don't know. I knew
Yeah, they made a big
Drew Burnham, Tilly, and Janet Reno.
Stamets, Jet Reno.
Janet Reno. The
well,
Attorney
well,
General of the United States, Janet Reno.
I have a feeling she was named Jet Reno to honor
Oh, I
Janet.
think so too. It was too close to Janet Reno. I was like,
I
that's not
agree.
a coincidence. Is it Stamets or Stanitz? What is it?
Stamets.
With an M.
Damn it's Janet.
Yes, and named after the real scientist that created the mycelial network stuff that had nothing to do with transportation. It has to do with terraforming and fungus, and it's again, they don't.
Did they get that whole mushroom spice thing because like of a Dune thing? Were they trying for that? Like, we could fold
I
space?
think they were grafting the
Afterwards?
real science that Stamets came up with onto the Spice Dune stuff because again, they're incapable of original ideas.
Yeah, because you're like, wow, if that was such a good technology, it was never used again on any of the other ships in the going forward. But whatever.
Well, no, I mean, again, it isn't a good thing, and
no, it's not. Now they know it's not.
And setting it in the past, it's like, well, why was it? Again, they come up with ideas that fly in the face of canon.
And you know what? Now that you think about it, remember they had the Scream or the Burnout or whatever the hell it was called, the Flame Out, and there was no warp drive for a couple hundred years. Why didn't they just shift over to the mushrooms then?
I don't know. Well, again, because I'm assuming a lot of these canon continuity things that when they classified all of Discovery, that's their claim that maybe all of this stuff that Discovery has encountered is now classified. And again, maybe that's another reason why
you're writing your own scripts. That shit ain't real.
If you're using the whole classification argument, then how did these scientists know about the mirror universe?
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. No,
and if you're going to hide something, if you know that this item is so deadly, why don't you just, don't take the chance?
And did Book learn about the mirror universe?
Are like?
Did he learn about the mirror universe in school?
From his adopted father that told Maul, "I hate you," and was a terrible father to her.
Oh yeah, and he took her
because that's important. That's really important. Screw any interesting science fiction stories. Daddy didn't love me. Oh my God, Daddy didn't love me. Shut up. Keep quiet, you. If I could be Mo Howard for a second.
That episode blew.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse,
suddenly it's episode 6. Yes, and like I said, I'm of two minds on this one because all right, here really when I got granular and really started looking at this is what they think a Star Trek episode should have, because we've got the Prime Directive problem with this civilization. They're a pre-technological society, which I love when things got desperate and they're running out of air. And Burnham is telling the father, all right, listen, this is all technology. I know you don't understand this, but I'm going to show you how to build a radio right now. And it's like, what? What is this radio you speak of? and it just, again, it was just gobbledygook. And but if you really look at the story beats in general, and again, I'm not saying they executed them well, it was like, all right, we've got this story, and then we got Culber still grooving over his John
grandma's, what was that meal they made? The Monoposa?
Yeah, Mofongo. They used to talk. They used to talk about Mofongo on Sanford and Son.
Yeah,
hey, let's have some Mofongo tonight.
I was like, what in the?
Oh, I didn't mind that. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. And again,
no. If you're gonna make a character moment for what's the doctor's name, Mr. Smiley?
Culber.
Smiley. His name is Smiley.
All right, Smiley.
Look at my good grandma. I'm gonna make her Mofongo now. Here, have some, bud. Is it great, Mofongo?
I thought he's. I mean, truly, and I don't mean this in a mean way. I honestly thought, I'm like, is Culber like starting to get into Book? And are we gonna have a triangle with Burnham, Book, and Culber? Because it's a
Mofongo talking.
It's sex and Mofongo.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about his grandma. Nobody cares about his Mofongo. What was the point of that? I mean, you're into it. You're going to make a character development point now. Why? I died.
I get the point of what they were trying to do.
Really? What was it?
Well, because he's trying to figure out what's happening with him, because obviously there's something brewing as a subplot.
They got 4 episodes left. They ain't brewing too much, buddy.
See, but that's what I'm saying. It's like I think it's gonna probably resolve itself when they get all the pieces together and something has to happen, and then him spiritually, because he was entered by these other people.
I'll pay you $20. They don't develop anything on that thing. It's a little too little. It's a little too late.
This is what should happen. Not that I'm saying it's going to, but anyway, they're applying the pieces for this. So I understand the whole thing with the grandmother and saying that it was a program for someone else that he was working on. I get all that, but it's just not. None of this is gelling. None of this is gelling with anything else.
None of it makes sense.
Yeah,
none of it.
Mm-hmm. And they've already corrupted Rayner because he's okay with violating the Prime Directive.
Oh yeah,
180.
Buy the
180.
Been there 2 weeks already. He's already running the ship like Michael Burnham's like, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. I'm like, okay,
that's Captain. Whatever you want, Captain.
Then I'm sorry. No, I'm not gonna get. It's horrible. We live in a new world. No one picks on physical people's appearances anymore. Yeah, right. I'll put a Speedo on right now. Well, let me just tell you, freaking Tilly's got to pop that freaking zit on her freaking chin over here because I just can't stop staring at it. It's like the guy. It's like the goddamn mole that what's the girl's name in Doctor Strange has? Real pretty girl. What's actress? Sorry, whatever her name is.
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. She's got this thing. Oh no. Oh no. Well, Doctor Strange 2, the Motion of Madness, whatever the hell it was called. She better check that stuff out. It was getting bigger.
No,
you got something right there.
Yeah, a little dirt on your nose. It looks like. No, it's Fred Savage in
with the mole.
Savage in Austin Powers 3.
Yeah,
must have talked about the moly mole. Or as Candy says in Uncle Buck. Here's a quarter. Why don't you go downtown and have a rat and gnaw that thing off your face?
And the other thing is, they're part.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Billy. Gee, there's a problem.
Directive. That's a joke. Please, they screwed that thing 6 ways to Sunday on this episode. They didn't care. But then they're over there. They're about to go on that nature hike or whatever the frig they're on. And then they're like, let's just take whatever the hell they're giving us. I'm like, oh, that's going to make a lot of sense, too. It's like, hope you ain't got anything to do for a week. I never saw anybody take so much acid in my life. What the hell's going on? I'm like, is it well, I don't know, buddy. I was begging for the show. I fast forward. I got to admit it right now in a stack of Bibles on my dad's grave. I did not watch the entire episode. Once they started running through the woods and they're all sweating, passing out, I said, F this.
And they took the desert pill?
Yeah, and I just started going on, and I didn't care. And I jumped to the end to see what happened. It didn't make a damn bit of difference. It didn't make a difference at all because it sucked at the end. It sucked in the beginning. The whole episode was a suck fest.
It was a rehash.
And they got a
rehash of previous stories. Like, I've seen this story so many times.
And they got a piece of the puzzle at the end. That's it. All you had to do was get from the beginning to there. That's all you needed to do.
not only classic tropes, but literally tropes from other new Trek episodes within the last couple of years. You can argue that the civilization that sacrifices the few is like that Strange New Worlds episode with the civilization with the little boy.
The kid, yeah.
So there's that. There also was, I believe it was.
Do the writers talk to each other? Is there
No,
like
they
an
probably
overseeing?
watch
They have to. Come on, man. They have to. I mean, it's the other thing too about the drought. And now I forget if it again was another Strange New World minor plot or a Disco minor plot. But they, without revealing themselves, they changed the atmosphere.
When the asteroid was going to smack into that planet, and
Right, it was the Uhura. Right, it was the Uhura episode, the
And they
second
fixed it.
episode,
Yeah.
the first season of Strange New Worlds. But that's the thing, man. Again, think about these shows. They have Disco is going to crack 65 shows when they're done, so they're around 60 now, and they have no original ideas because they're dumb. They're very, very dumb. Here, I got Rick has a comment. Michael continues to speak in dramatic whispers with every line. Her overacting gives Shatner a run for his money. And why does everyone smile at each other like they're in love at the end of every scene? Yes, they all are incredibly proud of every observation they make. And it really is like,
Okay.
wow, we're really something.
You know what?
No, you're not.
This is where I'm going to defend the show. Okay.
Go ahead.
On that line, I'm going to defend the show because she says when the new commander comes on board that's not the way we do things. Everybody loves each other on this ship, and that's how we communicate. So there, I defended the show.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, that
No
is
2 words I can't stand.
Okay,
Let's fly.
but Rayner
Oh
now
my
is
God.
already corrupted because he has no. He disregards the Prime Directive like no problem.
Yeah, but he's becoming part of the crew, Wayne.
Right.
He's
infected.
loving everybody.
He's
Let's
Stockholm
fly.
syndrome. He's surrounded, man.
He took the
Engage.
brown stuff.
That's good. Engage. They all had cool like.
I know. Let's Fly
what
sucks.
was
I hate
Janeway's?
Let's Fly. And
What was-
I guarantee you, before this show is over, a final word from Sunita Martin Green on social media. We'll have the hashtag Let's Fly. Like again, I meant to say that. Isn't that great? No, it's not. It's crap. You guys suck. These characters suck. They're not interesting. I don't care. I don't care about Culber's
Let's fly.
religious experience from the Jantara.
You know who would actually deliver that line and it would sound cool? Avery Brooks. If Avery Brooks was on a show and he said, "Let's fly," it would sound like, "Yeah, let's go." It would almost be like a jazz thing. You know what I mean? Like, let's get funky, man. Let's get
That's why I like. That's why I like Rikers in Lower Decks.
Lower Decks.
5, 6, no, and he goes down to 5, 6, 7, 8, and then they
yeah. And it's like it's got to be exciting. You're about to go to strange new worlds and where no one has gone before.
We don't know these characters well enough for them to have a catchphrase. I'm sorry, and I don't know, man. Again, I disagree with everything they do. There's no other way to say it.
It's exhausting. Let me tell you. To watch this show for 50 minutes, it's the longest 50 minutes of my life. And I told my wife tonight, I go, not only did I have to give up 2 hours of my life that someday I'll wish I had back, now I got to go downstairs and rehash it for 2 effing hours with you.
Sorry, buddy. I'm really sorry.
It's like,
Four more.
Who was I in my last life that I have to endure this hell?
We're like Tilly and the kid in this latest episode doing the marathon. Come on, man. There's only a few more yards left, and then we can drink water and die to sacrifice ourselves for our gods.
Now, I don't want to be body shaming or anything, but how come the Burnham burnt out really fast during that run?
And Tilly's
well, she did it on purpose to go find her yellow radiation leak.
No, she was burnt out. She was gassed.
Oh yeah, she needed that water right away, man. No, she was hurting.
She probably had some love sessions with Book before coming down.
Tilly's ward has some special properties that kept her endurance going. It's
alive.
One of the things that hit me in the last episode, not today's, but the last episode, where they were looking for solutions with the tractor beam coming out of the hole.
Yes,
they went around and he the commander went around and gave us the name of people in on the bridge.
Yes,
and I'm like, he's saying everybody's name. And at that point, I realized that I didn't care enough to stop and listen and remember them.
Yeah,
but
he did say a guy's name that I've never seen before. I was like, was that guy always there?
Uh-huh.
Was he there? No, swear to God,
Dude,
was he always
yeah.
there?
I don't know, but he was
I
saying
don't
the
know
name,
either.
so that's
Well,
where I got excited.
there used to be a black bridge crew officer, a man that
Yep.
not there anymore, and now seems to be replaced by an Asian. Although
No,
I know
no. There was an African American guy on the bridge with a little beard and goatee, and he said something to him. He said him by name, and then I was like, "Oh, was he always there for 5 years?" And I never knew his name. And I'm like, "When did this guy show up?"
Probably. God, even Wayne, who was like name checking everybody. If people don't know, they named one of the Canadian stages at Pinewood in Canada. They named it a Star Trek stage. Okay, fine. And they have this great publicity photo of the cast of Discovery in front of it. But even the woman that's next to Detmer on the bridge, who hasn't been in the last couple episodes, by the way, she's in the group photo with the dreadlocks, the lady with the dreadlocks.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember her name.
Because all of a sudden, it's a really
None of us
long,
can, Wayne.
it's a really long African name. God bless her. But
it's just, I just couldn't remember the name. I know it begins with an O, and that's it.
Yeah, I know it as well. Yes. But again, where is she? It is so weird. It is such a bean counter show of, let's only have these people on. I am so convinced and hope to have a conversation with somebody like Ethan Peck, who will be at Terrificon coming up in August. Give us the dates, Mitch.
That would be August 16th to the 18th at Mohegan Sun, located in Uncasville, Connecticut. Tickets are on sale right now.
Well, and among the people will be Ethan Peck. And I really want to know, because I would imagine there are actors like this on Strange New Worlds as well. I almost believe that they are those like 5 lines and less, and there is a pay scale for actors that only have a couple lines and stuff.
Yep.
I know Skokie Spidey, our buddy on the Oh Yeah podcast. You could say that about him and his recent appearance on Chicago Med a couple weeks ago. But that's my belief. And that
there is a bit of bullshit. There's a bit of bullshit.
Go ahead.
You know why? Because oh no, my machine wants to restart. Oh, we're not doing that now. But I knew Kylie. I knew Gwen was the nurse, doctor, whatever, the RN over on Star Trek. That's what I was telling you. I knew the side characters' names, and they were side characters. You know what
Miles
I'm saying?
O'Brien is in the pilot, and then occasionally shows up through the years, and then finally becomes a real cast member for Deep Space Nine. Yes,
right. And it's like,
like you said, Lieutenant Kyle, Lieutenant Riley from the original series.
Mm-hmm.
No, but wasn't her name Nakanomi?
DeSoto was a guy that they would leave in charge of the ship.
DeSoto would
remember Keiko, O'Brien's wife.
Well, Keiko, absolutely.
No, but she became part of the ship. But I'm just saying there was like sometimes there was a big security guy that was on the last couple seasons of Deep Space Nine, big African American actor. He was always in the background, and I'm like, oh, that guy's on again. He was like one of the Worf's detail, whoever was in charge of security. He was always there. But even like, oh my God, Gul Dukat's sidemen. Remember, he had like that. What was the guy's name? Oh,
Damar.
Yeah. Even Damar. Okay, these were people
Damar becomes a big important character. Yes.
Who's the guy in Deep Space Nine at Quark's bar who looked like a wall?
Morn.
Yeah. If you look at the Discovery, I forget which episode.
There was one in the background. Yeah,
he was in the bar scene. Yeah.
And
Linus is sort of more. Wait a minute. There was somebody from Morn's race in the background of Discovery. I didn't know that.
And there was a Ferengi
he was sitting at the bar.
Well, again, it's like my favorite. Every time they show the Ferengi, it's a background actor doing this, and they do nothing. Thank God for Picard, where he actually had a Ferengi who actually had lines. And we actually learned something about the person before his head got cut.
I don't know, man. It was
it's crap. It is such crap. It's infuriating. All right, first of all, a couple more comments. Mike says, I realize the fundamental problems. Even if you take out the Trek parts, we all care about and argue over, it's still bad television in terms of plot, characterization, and internal logic. 100%, man. Don says watching Discovery is like being stuck in purgatory. And here, I love this exchange. Stanley goes, how do you want the plot to end for the whole series? And Mike says, Supernova.
Yeah.
That would be great. Oh my God, that would be fan. And then and please have Tilly on there so we don't have to deal with her anymore on Starfleet Academy.
Oh no! They started laying the grounds on Starfleet
yeah.
Academy.
Oh, yeah.
It was as subtle as hitting you with a dead fish in the face. It was like,
And Burnham's going to be on it.
yeah, she's like,
I'm sure she'll make us.
how's everything at Starfleet Academy? Awkward silence. Like,
We're so honored to have the great captain of the Discovery join us, Michael Burnham. Well, here I am. Let's fly, cadets. God, Kurtzman was on this week's Ready Room, which again I would like to point out in a bean counting way is now a 15-minute show and no longer a half-hour show, which cracks me up. But man, he is so proud of this pile of dung that he's constructed. And really, and he made a line again. My buddy Scott Larson's like, you might want to check this out because he goes, well, Star Trek fans are very particular and they understand authenticity. And it's like, yeah, this is authentically crap, and it has very little to do with Star Trek. Although, again, going back to what I said about the 6th episode, you had the big problem of the Prime Directive and this civilization, and then you had a B story focusing on one character, Culber, dealing with his Jantara. So again, at least they're kind of figuring out the skeleton of how Michael Piller changed Next Generation in the 3rd season and subsequent Rick Berman produced era Star Trek moving on, where, all right, this is the big problem the ship is dealing with or the space station is dealing with, but at the same time, Jake and Nog are not getting along, or whatever. Julian is up for a big medical award. I mean, and you could do little things like that. I don't know, man. And I really can't stand now Adira is becoming the Wesley Crusher of this show. And she was always supposedly like that it's in her because she had these past Trill lives, including this Admiral of Starfleet and stuff. So I guess I can appreciate that to a degree, but I don't know, man. Again, I don't know if I can ride the two-wheeler, Dad. Well, you just pedal and try. Look, Dad, I'm riding the two-wheeler.
Can I ask a question? The civilization that they went down to help out, how do they have the technology to develop a desert pill, but not?
I don't know. Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
Whoa! They used the magical plant.
Yeah,
I was thinking that too.
It's a pill that makes your entire mouth a desert, but yet they can't figure out how to irrigate their crops.
Because again, they tease you with a name you recognize. Oh, it's the Denobulans. Well, that's Dr. Phlox's people from Enterprise. Oh, great. Are we really going to learn much about them? No. And can we see some modern Denobulans, perhaps? Can you introduce a character from 32nd century Denobula to, bring Billingsley back. I'm sure he would have loved to do it. It costs too much money. How about the makeup? It costs too much money. Well, what are you going to do? Well, we're just going to mention it in the story. Gee, thanks. Nothing. And it is infuriating. My God.
No, I think like I said earlier, what infuriated me was it's a rehash of a story that I've seen too many times. It's like,
yes,
how many times can you tell the same story and hope for the best?
Well, and again,
how many times can you watch Tilly run? And the answer is a whole bunch on Rewind.
Oh, that's you with the wart.
Oh, on slow mo.
There's no sound.
What are you pointing at, Mitchell? I don't know what you're pointing
at. Him talking about Tilly.
Okay, that's fair. No, it's Yeah, I understand. That's okay. I don't know, man. And you're right, Wayne, because I feel the same way. And what drives me nuts is you can argue, well, there were like 700 episodes of Rick Berman Trek, so they might.
Well, I'm not even thinking of just Rick Berman Trek. I'm just thinking of science fiction in general that I've read over the years. I'm just going, this trope is old.
Well, you're right. That's fair too. But again, if you present it in an interesting way, we'd be okay with it. And instead, they do the barest of minimal. I wouldn't even call it science fiction writing. It's crap.
It's the Star Lost.
Yes, good call, Wayne. Canadian's own Lost Canada seed ship. One of those things. It's funny. I've tried to watch.
Harlan Ellison.
Wasn't Walter Koenig on that or Koenig?
He might have been Cornwayne or Cordwainer Bird was Ellison was so mad at all the changes they made in the Star Lost that he said, "Take my name off it," and he provided a pseudonym. And it's like Cornwainer Bird, I think, is Harlan Ellison's fake name for that. Crap.
Harlan had issues.
Was that what, Mitch?
Pierre Dulé was on that?
Yeah.
Was he? Okay, Wayne.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, straight off 2001.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. A couple of years later, yeah. So what were you saying when he said that, Wayne? Go ahead.
Yeah, it wasn't important. Like these two episodes blew chunks. This is me saying these 2 episodes blew chunks.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd rather watch the playoffs. I'd rather watch the Leafs win it, and I hate the Leafs.
On Tubi, I made a discovery last night. I was talking to our friend Mike Norton. We were unraveling a Mike Norton mystery, and somebody
Get the bugs.
No, yeah, we should get the bugs and Julie and get the mystery machine. But a lot of the old Sid and Marty Krofft live action shows are all on Tubi. Not everything, because Mike brought up, and I can't believe it's a subject, Francis, that we've never discussed with Artie. The old show Bigfoot and Wild Boy.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Father and son Bigfoot. It's not on there, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
I love that.
However, the Krofft Super Show.
Yeah.
16 episodes of that. Dr. Shrinker as a separate.
Billy Barty. I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's on there. And also,
is the Bugaloos on? Oh, that girl was hot.
Bugaloos is on there as well.
English girl with the short hair.
Sure. I think a lot of them. Other than Martha Ray, they were all British, frankly. And
it was something else.
Oh God.
Electro Woman and Dinah Girl, right?
Absolutely on the Krofft Super Show, 16 episodes. And they're long. They're like half-hour episodes.
No. But Bigfoot and Wild Boy, that was where he would do that yell. Like he'd be in trouble, like Wild Boy would be in trouble, and he'd go, Naga Raga, and also he'd go, and he would jump and he would throw big rocks at people and stuff. I'd watch that 50 times over before I'd watch this.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying. And
I need to confess to you boys, I've never seen this Bigfoot show.
Well, we're going to watch it. I'm going to do a panel at Terrificon, Connecticut's Terrific Comic Con, right back there. We're going to do a Bigfoot and Wild Boy thing.
There you go.
Some shit fell. But anyway.
That's all right.
But we should have an Electra Woman reunion.
No.
Well, they tried to reboot it a couple
times. For it. Yeah.
They did try to reboot it a couple times.
They did it twice with Marky Post on the CW.
Right. I remember that.
And then they actually tried it again later on. So it's been twice.
Yeah. The great Deidre Hall from Days of Our Lives.
That's what I was going to say. Deidre Hall was on it.
Was like a woman, absolutely beautiful woman. Yeah. No, and also here's a crappy one that was kind of like I'm surprised Hanna-Barbera didn't sue them for the similarities. But Wonderbug was like it was like Speed Buggy, where it would morph into a cooler car and could fly and all this other ridiculous stuff.
Wonderbug, yeah.
But yeah, that was another one they showed. And all right, this is the worst, but I dare to say, I would say it's probably superior to Discovery. The Lost Saucer, and it's Jim Neighbors and Ruth Buzzy as robots.
Yes, I watched that.
And it's a black woman and a white kid that are with them.
Yeah.
Traveling through space. I don't know why.
And there was Uncle Croc's Block on that? Was Charles
Nelson
Riley?
Unfortunately, I didn't find any Uncle Croc Block episodes featuring the great Charles Nelson Riley.
They had Mush on there, which was MASH, but it was all dogs and it was set in like Alaska. And they had like instead of radar, it was sonar and Frank Sideburns and Trapper was like it was
this a real thing?
Yeah.
This is all on Tubi. Now they don't have Uncle Croc, they don't have Mush. They do, like I said, they have the Bugaloos, they have the Bay City Rollers.
Their show. I used to watch that.
Yep.
Oh my God!
Oh.
And the Hudson Brothers show, that was a great
Razzle
show.
Dazzle.
They had the emu guy. Remember the guy with
Yeah.
the emu puppet, and it would just like attack him every week. It was just basically his hand. Emu. I don't know what the hell. And that's Kate Hudson's dad, one of those guys. The Hudson brothers.
Mark Hudson.
Mark Hudson. There was
Right.
Brett, Mark, and then another guy, Larry or
Ringo.
Jim. I don't know.
Yeah,
Ringo.
Larry.
Yeah, the Hudson
Chef-
brothers. Was
Chef
a great
Hudson.
show. Yeah.
God.
That stuff, you know what's so sad? That stuff was better written. And then the real Ghostbusters with Forrest Tucker and Larry Storch, and then the gorilla too.
Bob
whatever.
Burns. Yeah,
Bob
Bob Burns,
Burns.
the sci-fi memorabilia guy was in the
Better
gorilla.
written than this crap. And those guys
Yeah.
were getting paid like $50 a week to do that.
Get the ghost dematerializer. Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. We're the
How sad
ghost
is it that our Star Trek talk is turned into
Saturday morning TV because it was better. It was better. That's for sure. It was more entertaining.
Look up Croft and you'll find
He's
at least-
alive, one of them, because he's coming to
one
the
of them
show.
is the other one. The other, they're brothers, and the older brother.
Yeah. He's coming to a show up here in Massachusetts in June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's like 92 or something.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
Land of the Lost people will be there.
Ooh,
They were at Terrificon years ago, but they're going to be at this show too.
yeah, I remember. I was wondering if David Gerald, who wrote many Land of the Lost,
He did.
also maybe wrote any of these Sid and Marty sci-fi shows or the
Did
genre
you ever
shows.
interview him yet?
No, I would love to. And again, I have to.
All right, I'll send you his email again. I
Yes,
thought
send me the
did that.
contact info. I'd love to talk to David Gerald. I'm massive.
And as a faithful, happy, proud resident of Canada, we thank our two Canadian brothers, Sid and Marty Croft, both born in Montreal.
Oh wow, wow! They
Feels like
I give them a lot of credit. They were very inventive television producers.
they were.
They prior to the CNN complex being built in Atlanta, there was a Sid and Marty Croft indoor amusement park on that land. So yeah, I mean they maximized marketing, all their ideas, Puffin stuff and everything else.
Oh yeah, baby.
Puffin, by the way, Puffin stuff is absolutely there.
Jimmy too.
Love
with the
Witchy
little,
Poo.
with the little weasel or the
The flute.
The flute.
Oh, Jimmy. Oh, I
Ready.
don't know, Jimmy. Oh, I don't know.
Okay,
Jimmy, what is
here's
this?
something.
But you can talk to Puffin
Then
stuff.
We're all in our 50s, right?
Yes.
And we can remember the freaking
Barely.
names of these characters
Yes.
without having seen the shows in decades. What is wrong with this picture?
They don't have enough Canadians on the writing staff at Star Trek Discovery. That's why. Sid and Marty Croft, they got it. I mean, I remember the Bugaloos girl, for God's sakes.
Like, there's something wrong that we can remember Freddie the Flute from H&R Puffin stuff.
Yeah.
Witchy Poo and the
And Witchy
Lidsville
Poo.
people.
Yeah,
Whitney's
it's just
sexuality always confused me.
Witchy Poo?
Well, because she was also played by it's Billy Burke or whatever the actress's name. Because she also
really?
played. Was there a genie on Puffin stuff, or was it a different show where there was a genie?
No, there was a genie there. Wasn't that
Okay.
Charles Riley at one point?
No. That's
Oh.
Voodoo, the magician from Lidsville. Also,
No, you know what? You're thinking of Pee-wee's Playhouse had the genie.
No. That was much later. I'm talking 70s. There was a
maybe.
genie character, and I think it was this Billy Burke who also played.
yeah, it's
Witchy.
Billy Hayes.
Billy
Billy
Hayes.
Hayes.
Thank you. Yeah,
The guy that made
With
the
better makeup, not a much of an improvement. Go ahead.
commercials, Billy Hayes, right? Oh, that was Billy Mays.
Yeah, the
The guy that
the
died.
Sam-
Yeah, like
Sam
yeah.
Wow guy. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's give him a Terrificon.
He's dead.
He is dead. He died. He died
He got
when.
hit in the head with a piece of luggage, and he died a couple hours later.
Wow, I remember he died around the same time that Michael Jackson and Walter Cronkite.
He
All
didn't
they-
hit with a piece of luggage.
It was like several celebrities, and literally they're like Michael Jackson, Walter
I
Cronkite,
swear to
and the
Christ.
Sam Wow
I
guy.
swear to Christ. He was getting out of an airplane and he went to the overhead thing and like a piece of luggage whacked him in the head and Billy Mays died a couple hours later. Swear to God. Same thing like Steve Allen. Steve Allen was in a car accident earlier that day and he had like a blunt trauma to his chest and he walked it off. Well, he didn't walk it off far. He freaking died that night.
That's
So,
correct. That is correct. Stanley, maybe these shows can also talk about Trek comics and novels. I'd be happy to. IDW continues to kill it. and everybody that's writing them, they have a great assemblage of comic book writers, and the stories are so superior to what we're getting on TV and film.
Yes.
Also, by the way, more BS about this proposed Star Trek prequel. Man, again, they're like wrong at square one, because they were talking again that it's going to be around the Romulan War. It's going to be decades before the 2009 movie, but it's going to be set in the Kelvin universe. And it's like the Kelvin divergence didn't happen until Kirk's dad on the Kelvin died. That's, I mean, and I'm not saying that the Kelvin universe didn't exist, but they had the same history. So I don't know what they're going to, if they specifically make this movie in the Kelvin universe, I'm already confused.
Yep.
All right, that's it.
Who's the fellow that asked for a bunch of Star Trek panels over at Terrific Con?
Don Lenza.
Well, I got to sit down with Mr. Suntress soon, because I got to start putting together panels, because there's so many comic guests and Star Trek people. I don't know who to choose from, and that's even an older picture, because we have Ethan Peck on there, so we have 7. So you can almost do classic Trek with Walter Koenig. You could do a Strange New Worlds with Celia and Ethan, and then you, of course, do a Deep Space Nine, and then for shit and giggles, we'll throw in the lady from Picard.
Sure.
I think she's also on Doom Patrol. She's got 2 part. Yeah.
What was she on Doom Patrol?
Hammerhead.
Hammerhead.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm for it. I'm very excited for Terrificon. I always
do a Trek panel a day.
I'm for it. I'll be happy to trek away on all of those.
Trek away.
Yeah, I'm only looking forward to 3 cons this year, and Terrificon is one of them.
There you go.
Mike says these are the creators of the Kelvin universe. How they did not know how and when it started. Yeah, you're right, man.
That's sad.
Bob Orsi is no longer with Bad Robot or Secret Headquarters. Bad Robot being JJ's company, JJ Abrams.
Yes.
And Secret Headquarters is a division of JJ's companies, and that's what Kurtzman runs. But after the failure of Star Trek Into Darkness, they booted Robert Orsi, and he was like the big Trek guru that knew the most about Star Trek of the 3 of those guys. So good thing you got rid of that guy.
Yeah, Michelle Yeoh was on the news this evening. She won the the Medal of Freedom, like the highest public honor you can get, whatever like that, for her acting abilities, I assume. But she's Section 31 wrapped. I heard
Good.
That was done filming. So I'm assuming we're going to get that this year, right?
Supposedly we're getting that this year still. We're also supposedly getting the last season of Lower Decks this year. That's the funny thing. I keep mentioning my buddy Scott Larson, who's like, oh man, I really, with all the financial trouble that Paramount's having, we may not get a lot more new Trek. And I'm like, no, man, you're wrong. I go, there's Section 31 in Lower Decks this year. There's Strange New World Season 3 next year. I go, well, so that takes us to 26. Now, next year might be rather light in terms of them only doing one show. But I'm like, I don't think, because we're going to go back to the wilderness years, where it might be a couple years before we get any Star Trek product. I'm like,
I think they're going to announce on when's Star Trek Day, in September or something.
Yes,
I think they'll announce Tilly's show.
Well, that's the thing. They're already in pre-production, and that's coming in 26.
Right.
So, we might be down to one show. And then again, I imagine the sale of Paramount will still happen at some point within this time, and we'll get, we'll get new owners of Paramount IP, and they're not stupid. They got to realize that Star Trek is not a mass popular show. It's a niche show. It always was, and please cater to that niche, and don't try to make it something that it's not. But again, we're kind of stuck with these morons that really think they're brilliant in making really innovative Star Trek, and all they're doing is dumbing down the product.
Do you guys have that Pluto network up in Canada? You know what I'm talking about? No, a friend of mine who just got off of all cable, because I was talking about how I'm sick of paying for Paramount Plus because there's nothing on anymore but Star Trek. Discovery, and I want to get rid of it as soon as possible. But he says on Pluto, and I don't know if this is correct.
There's a couple of different channels.
There's
with,
a couple Star Trek channels on there. Is that
Yeah.
true?
Right.
You can watch
Paramount owns.
Yeah. Oh, Paramount owns Pluto?
Yes, that's why.
So wait a minute. So this
What?
is a free commercial-filled network because you have to watch commercials just like the old days.
Yeah.
But you have access to all these.
Yeah.
Well, it's not
shows?
on demand. It's
No, but
It's
it's
only
it is.
free.
Actually, there is a portion that is on demand, Francis.
really
Mhm.
for no fee whatsoever.
yeah, it's free TV.
Just like Tubi is funded by what was Fox,
Yeah.
and they even
I don't
run
know.
both networks. Pluto runs Paramount commercials and CBS commercials,
Yeah.
and Tubi runs Fox commercials. Fox.
Do you think they're going to come to a point soon where they realize the whole streaming thing was a disaster? All of the companies, not just Paramount, but Disney and Showtime. I mean,
I think they've gone too far that they can't.
who's
It'll
making money on
scale
it?
back, but they won't ever get rid of it. I don't think.
No, but what I do think they're going to do ultimately is bring back commercials. And
Well,
there'll
yeah.
But they're
be
doing
a
that now.
cheaper tier. Well, that's what I'm saying, and I think they gotta figure out a way of making more money.
Even with Peacock, because I like wrestling and I watch the premium events. They're not called pay-per-views anymore. They're premium events. And when they go to between matches, they'll go to commercials.
Yeah.
If you have Peacock Premium, then you get to see the behind the scenes stuff of what made the matches. But like they'll show commercials in between those as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 'cause I know
and when you watch a
Amazon-
movie, it says, here, enjoy these 5 minutes of commercials before you can see your movie type thing.
Yeah, no, Amazon. I paid the extra $2 a month to get rid of commercials. It's like, do you want to upgrade for $2 more? I go, I don't care. What are you gonna do with $2? It's like whatever.
Well, again,
I'm telling you, Netflix has got really expensive. I'm like, why am I paying $30 for this? Because I use it, my kid uses it, my mom uses it.
Oh,
so
you
I
have
got
multiple people.
But I'm like, holy Jesus! The thing I was watching before we started was this Jerry Seinfeld Pop-Tart movie, which is just
How is
out.
Yeah.
It starts off okay. It's kind of funny, and it's like a bad Saturday Night Live sketch because he's like, oh, here's Chef Boyardee, here's Jack LaLanne, and it's all these pop culture references, and it's fun at first, and then you're like, wait, they're trying to drag this out for an hour and a half, and it's like, how did Post come up with a new Toasties cake, and Kellogg's is trying to find out behind. It's kind of funny, but at the same time, if you're not into it, and all the references from the old like Tony the Tiger and all,
I'm going to be into it because I like all that stuff.
I
And
like
also-
it all. Yeah, I'm all into the ads and all that snap crackle pop stuff. I think it's funny. But my wife watched it. She's like, what is this, a comedy? I go, yeah. She goes, what the hell are they doing? I go, well, you got to know all these 60s things and what they're talking about. She goes, I don't care. And she walked out of the room. I'm like, yeah, what are you gonna do? It's not for her. It's not for
I've heard Seinfeld on talk shows describe it as it is the competition between Post and Kellogg's. But what if it was the space race, but it's these two food companies trying to make what became Pop-Tarts? Because I know Post had Country Squares right before Pop-Tarts hit the market. And really, the History Channel has a show called The Food That Built America. And they did a full episode on the Pop-Tart Country Squares thing. And they did the true story of it. And even Seinfeld says, yeah, it's the two rival food companies trying to make Pop-Tarts. And after that, everything else is fake. And of course,
it is funny. They even do like a whole Mercury 7 press conference where they introduce all the people they get to test the new food product. It's supposed to be like the right stuff. And they all talk about, how they're going to change everything. Speaking of real life stuff from All Mankind, China launched a moon mission today. I saw it on the news. It's going to come back in like 58 days with 5 pounds of moon rocks, and they're going to the dark side of the moon. And I'm like, wait, this was all on For All Mankind. And they're like, well, we're looking at the moon for new resources. I'm looking at my wife and go, they're going for the lithium. That was on For All Mankind. They're going to use that to get the batteries because I said, think about this. Right now, you've got the U.S. going back up there. You've got Elon Musk, SpaceX. They're trying to get up there. China's got a thing going on there. I go to my wife, there's got to be something more up there than they're telling us right now. Because why the big interest? Everybody's racing to get to the moon by 2030. They're all like, no, we're going to. thing.
they
you
want
know?
to build moon bases or launching pads to then go to
Mars.
Mars and other places, just like
It's
in
the
For All
same reason, because everybody gets it on the act. It's the same reason, like way back in the day, you had Big, and then all the other changing body movies.
Yeah.
You know,
Freaky
all at the
Friday.
They
same
run
time.
out of ideas. They're like Hollywood. They don't have any.
Uh-huh.
China doesn't know what to do. They're like, we're gonna do the moon thing. Yeah.
But not only For All Mankind, Mitch. Remember the Iron Sky, that Belgian?
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the
Oh.
Nazi base on the moon.
Yes, which
Oh,
was
that was
hilarious.
great.
I love
There's
that movie.
two of
And
those movies.
President, yes,
Did you-
exactly. President
Did you
Palin,
watch the sequel?
of course,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, with the yeah.
very
Wait,
funny.
was the sequel with the black guy with the
Yeah.
makeup on? Yeah, that was
No,
the
no, no,
sequel.
that was in the first movie.
That's the first
It was
one.
in the first, but there's also a sequel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the second one was good. No, it's good. I didn't know this. Franco, did you know this? Mike says that
I know it.
Netflix just
Yeah.
bought the rights to the WWE
Oh
Raw
wow!
and its premium events. So they're
No.
going away from
So now you got to
No.
go watch
No.
Netflix.
they
No.
and Peak
Wow.
Pack. What are
No.
they doing?
No, WWE signed a deal with Netflix that Raw, and just their Monday night show, Raw, is going to be on Netflix. Their premium events, I believe, are still on Peacock.
Okay.
I believe. I could be wrong, but
Could
I'm
be
pretty sure
wrong.
they're still on there.
Oh, and an update on Pluto. Pluto Canada doesn't have the same number of science fiction. They only have one Star Trek channel versus multiple Star Trek channels that you have on Pluto US. All you have to do is get a VPN and you're good to go.
It's true.
It's crazy though.
It's very
It's like
true.
all the channels. It's just like your what's that show you guys are always watching with all the old detective shows and stuff?
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
only one of those.
It's like MeTV, right? It's like a version of MeTV.
what
This
is?
Pluto thing. with all
I
the
guess
different-
kind of, yeah, but not really.
Yeah, well, they have a lot of retro shows, but they also have like a lot of imports. It's like Tubi. Pluto is
That's-
very.
yeah.
It's pretty similar to
That's
Tubi.
where I was watching the Love Boat the other day when Gopher, his college roommate came back, but he was a she, and Gopher
I
was
remember
having a
that
hard
one.
time with it. Yeah,
I remember who played the actress in that. That's fantastic. What actress was it? Do you
I
remember?
can't remember, but it was someone who was like, oh, I know that person, and I can't remember.
No,
It's
that
like 2.5 Men when Chris O'Donnell is a former lover of Charlie Sheen's, and they transition into a man.
well, that was on Larry. That was just on Larry David's last
Yes.
episode. Yeah, when
Yes.
they're sitting around, he's like, Larry, don't you
Very
remember? We used to bang on the floor, and Springsteen's like, really? I never would have thought you being a floor effer. Well, there you go. Did you see that one of those shows, like those Love Island shows over in England? That
Why would I
was
watch?
like the Bachelor thing where they all go after a girl.
Why
And
would I watch
but
that?
the big reveal was the guy was a transgender person. They didn't tell
Wow.
the whatever the bachelors that were trying to get her, and they revealed it at the end. And then it's like, oh, now what? And I'm like, oh.
Well,
Like the Ryan game.
there was that transgender actress Tula was the
Yeah.
person
I
staged in.
remember that.
She was a Bond girl.
But that's
And-
what I was thinking when I
Hey
said
man,
it.
that and again, this is 1970s transgender surgery.
Yeah.
This man became a beautiful woman. And that's
Yep.
there's no other way to say it. And I remember her being in and sorry if I'm misusing her pronouns. But yeah, I remember her being in like Sports Illustrated and a couple other magazines. And let me tell you, very, very beautiful woman. So I didn't, if I could be Roger Moore for a second, I didn't realize my co-star was once a man. So vodka martini, shaken not stirred. Although technically he changed James Bond's drink. And if you watch the early Roger Moore James Bonds, he orders bourbon neat instead. He's like, I wanted to get away from all the Sean trappings and stuff. So even down to the drink and stuff, suddenly Bond was a bourbon drinker, which cracked me up. Now Mike says Netflix, all right, yeah, and then he says might be different for US because he's a British guy, but think events are on Netflix for the rest of the world. Could be. That happens a lot, as Wayne knows from the Canadian differences.
Yeah, I think Hulu and Disney are merging because when I watch my Disney Plus, all it does is show me ads for Hulu across the top. I'm like,
they merged, yeah.
no, but I'm thinking they're just gonna do one channel now instead of
honestly, Mitch, I've been wondering that too because you're right. There is Hulu programming now on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And that's surprising because forever it was, well, no, Disney Plus is all family safe. And they have some of those Hulu shows, like Only Murders in the Building is now on Hulu or on Disney. Yeah. I did a new Star Wars show start.
The Acolyte comes out in June.
I knew that.
Bad Batch wrapped up this week, and
Well, they had Tales of the Jedi, and I think
that's
the Sith
tomorrow. Tales
is
of the
tomorrow.
Empire.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
tomorrow. Tales of the Empire. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well,
Yeah. I actually went and paid money to go watch episode 1 today in the theaters.
The Phantom Menace.
which
It's
shows
even
you again how
Here,
weak the movie product is. That they're doing that. They're doing the Spider-Man movies.
Well, let me tell you, the Spider-Man movies, they had extra screenings because they're sold out on a Monday night for $5. They actually put it through the rest of the week. And I go every Monday at 7:00, and the place is packed. People are clapping. Spider-Man 3 was this week, which is like the shittiest of all the
Right.
Tobey Maguire. But people had a good time. They were laughing at Bruce Campbell. They were laughing at the story.
You know
Sure.
why?
Franco? Why?
You know why? Because tickets are $5, not
$5.
not $35 for the night.
Well, that's true too.
$5 on a
You're
Monday
right about
night. I mean, there's nothing else on TV,
But-
and you're
but
watching
isn't that-
But I'm saying, like,
No movie.
you're saying all these sales are down, like box office sales are down. Like, they're charging so much money for these movies that aren't that
worth
good.
it. They're
No.
not worth it.
Oh, how about that movie we
Exactly.
saw, the Godzilla thing? I thought that was crap.
Again,
Godzilla -1.
Not worth it. Like,
No. He's talking about Kong and Godzilla. The
Yeah,
sequel.
the new one. No, not the other one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
if it was
Godzilla loves
$5,
Kong.
if it was $5, I would have been happier. But it wasn't.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
not.
Well, and
This
there's
week,
well, by the way,
that
that also ties into the problem with trying to sell Paramount because Sherry Redstone wants the new buyer to not only buy the assets of Paramount and CBS as studios, but also wants them to buy the movie theaters. And it's like, hey, you want some horse and buggies? I know the car has been out now for about 10 years, but we got all these horse and buggies. And it's like, yeah, that's all right.
Well, funny thing, Seinfeld was on some talk shows, and he said the movie industry is dead. They just don't realize it yet. They're on life support. I go, well, Jerry,
They realize it. They realize it. Well, I don't agree. You know, also the Russo brothers have also been making the rounds, and they made the same claim too. And I love it because they're like, "Oh no, it's not that we're making bad movies. It's just that younger people want to consume media differently." And it's like, newsflash, you're making lousy movies. I don't know how to break it to you, but you're making lousy movies.
Yep.
I mean, I think you can get the mojo back, and we'll certainly see when Deadpool and Wolverine happens. See Brie Larson all angry that and I guess that's kind of the flame that
I think that was a made-up story because they were.
Were they? Was it?
Somebody
Well, I
was saying-
saw Josh Brolin was mad that his cable's not going to be in. I'm like, dude, you know what? There's going to be a lot of cameos in this thing. That's all it's going to be is like 2 hours of like Chris Evans and Thor or whoever is going to pop up. I'm sure.
Do you really think Chris Evans and Hemsworth?
Oh, I think I think they're going to go for broke on this thing. What I can't understand is if they really want to restart the Marvel Cinematic Universe for everybody, this thing's going to be a hard R just based on the trailer where the F-bomb was every other word. Worse than me. I don't know.
Well,
You're not gonna get
according to the
12-year-olds.
last time I went to the movies to go see Deadpool, with the amount of kids under the age of 15 in that theater when I saw it, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
Really?
That reminds me when the South Park movie came out, and I kept seeing all these young kids and stuff.
Oh,
there.
wow.
Yeah. I don't think that'll be a barrier. I really don't.
They're probably like, oh, look, a movie ticket. Just let them in. Nobody cares. Okay.
Exactly, for real. Yeah, you know, Mitch, or rather Wayne, I apologize. I haven't been diligent in X-Men 97 or Bad Batch, catching up and everything.
Yeah, I'm a couple.
Your thoughts?
Bad Batch is really, really dark, but I loved
Yeah.
it. I thought it ended okay. Like it
Was it a season ender or series ender?
series,
Oh, it's done.
totally
They
series.
wrapped it
It's
up.
done. It's one complete story. You can
Yep.
actually
Great.
watch it all and
Great.
be satisfied.
Yep.
Wonderful.
It was really interesting. Character. If you want to see character arcs, holy cow!
I know,
Go to
for
an
a cartoon.
animated freaking story.
Yep.
Like all these characters had arcs, real arcs, and you compare that to again. I don't want to harsh
The Discovery.
I do.
Discovery,
I do.
but there's something wrong when you have more invested in a clone character named Omega and her story than you do in
A live action show.
a live action almost an adaptation of your previously loved franchise.
I'm with you.
It's like
with
you really
half
feel for these characters and
half-shaved
what they're going
hairheads.
through.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, first of all, Stanley has two questions. I'm going to ask you your second question first, Stanley, and that is: are we going to watch Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? I am.
Yes.
I bought my tickets. I even bought one for Franco if he wants to go. But
When?
Thursday night.
Oh, possible.
Next Thursday.
This Thursday. Yeah, this coming Thursday.
Yeah, this coming Thursday. I'm sorry. Yes. And then no, the trailers intrigue me. They kept running them in the panel rooms at C2E2, and it got me excited. And speaking of C2E2, Stanley wants to know, how was C2E2? I thought it went great for me. I did a lot of networking. I only did the Svengoolie panel, but I always have a great time. And Rich Coase and Jim Roach, Rich is Svengoolie and Jim is his producer. They're always incredibly great to me, and they really let me play with Sven on the panel. And thankfully, I think the audience is used to it. And I even got a bit of a smattering of applause for Word Balloon when I introduced myself, which was really nice. That's cool. Like, I know why you guys are here. You're not here for me. You're here for Rich. But we have a good report.
Was there not a lot of comic panels that you could host?
Oh, no. Well, I don't know what's going on, Mitch. They have Chris Delando, who used to be the guy in charge of panels, got promoted, and now he runs the whole show. And they have a new person in charge of panels who doesn't know me, and that's okay. But yeah, no, I wasn't asked to do any other panels.
Were there comic panels, or was it mostly celebrities?
Oh, no, absolutely there were. And it was interesting because this new person, I don't know how many other people greenlight panels, but I stopped submitting Word Balloon specific panels years ago. And actually like 3 or 4 other podcasts got podcast panels. I'm like, good for you. That's cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable as long as I get a pro badge and I can do my networking. Yeah. And really, because again, I've really told Jim and Svengoolie, hey, if there's other people, I'm happy to step aside. You guys have been great. Like, no, we want you. We like you. We like the way you do it. So, great. That's fine with me. If that's all I do for subsequent C2E2s, I'm very happy with that.
How was attendance?
It was very
good. I thought.
Yeah, attendance was good. Couple of things on Friday. Usually, Chicago's a working class town, so usually on Friday when they open up, it's people come in, but it's here and there. But it really picks up around 1-3 o'clock when people start to get off work or get off work early to come to the show.
With school.
This was 9:30 in the morning. VIPs let in, gangbusters right from the beginning. The other sweet thing that I wanted to say is Jim Roche came to see me at my table, which was very sweet, and we had a nice conversation. And then Svengoolie online. I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry I missed you. I really tried to get over there to see you, but you were already gone." He wrote back to me saying, "Oh, I missed you too. I can't, love to hook up and see you next time." So I was like, "Oh, that was very sweet." So, it was a good show.
Yeah, he said the same. He's like, "John, we need to go out for a meal or drinks or something." I'm like, "Whenever you want, man." I'm like,
are they going to do another Svengoolie comic?
He made an announcement at the panel that things are in the works. Nothing concrete yet, but things are in the works for a second Svengoolie comic book. Yes, cool. It sounds like it won't be with Frank Miller Productions, but that's okay.
And also, I don't think I'm involved either.
Oh,
so
wow,
yeah.
How is Frank Miller Productions going?
I don't know. I haven't talked to Dan, although I don't know if Dan's still operating with them either. Frankly,
I haven't seen any in the stores lately. Now that you mentioned it, I haven't seen one of those in a couple months.
The week after Terrificon, 16th through 18th in August, I'm going to Dublin, Ireland. Yes. And Frank and Selene, his business partner, will be at the Dublin Comic-Con, so I hope to find out more there.
Interesting.
We'll find out. Yeah.
Was Jeff Johns there? Was he the big guest there?
No, he's coming to Chicago the same weekend.
No, yeah.
He's doing the Rosemont show.
Right.
That is our year show, Ghost Machine, and bringing a lot of Ghost Machine people. I'm just relieved that Brian Hitch, who was just in Philadelphia for one of the Fan Expo shows, I thought he was coming to Chicago, and that was my lone. Where even Jeff, who I'm always happy to see, and we always have a few minutes on the floor where we talk face to face or try to grab a coffee or something. Jeff is going to be there, but it's fine because again, I like what's going on at Terrificon. I always do, and I think it's still a superior show. But that said, I was worried about missing Hitch, given that he's in England, and how often does he come to the States? And I thought he might be coming to Chicago, but I just talked to him on a recent word balloon. And he's like, "No, I'm not coming to Chicago." I'm like, "All right, good. I feel better."
I think the Ghost Machine crew signed an exclusive with Fan Expo because they're doing almost all their shows.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
No, there's some interesting. Hey, listen, if you like sci-fi comics and interesting ideas, I think a lot of the Ghost Machine product is interesting and worth a look. Red Coat, which is the Hitch.
I just read that. Yeah.
That's
I
good.
thought it was a very good first issue. It looks great,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very interesting idea. I'm looking forward to Francis's book. I'm looking forward to Tomasi's book. A lot of the guys.
Tomasi and Francis are doing the same book, The
Oh,
Rockefeller.
I forgot it was the same book. There you go. And I miss Francis. I haven't talked. And another one of my favorite Canadians, Wayne, the great Francis Manipul. I look forward to talking to him. It's been interesting lately. I had Jason Aaron on the show, word balloon wise. If everyone is just coming for Trek and has a passing interest in what I do on the word balloon show, I had Mike Norton on last night. The Monday before Terrificon, I had or the Wednesday before Terrificon, I had Jason Aaron on, and Jason, is.
You mean CTE2?
Yes. What did I say? I'm sorry.
You
I said
said he will be at Terrificon on August 16th to the 18th.
As he told me, I'm very excited that he's coming.
Yes,
Absolutely, man.
yes.
But yeah, his Batman Off-World is an interesting story, and it so flies in the face of the Denny O'Neil philosophy of Batman doesn't belong in space.
Yeah.
But again, in these days, why not? And again, if you have a good sci-fi story and your man should be able to put Batman in it, I got no problem with that. But he just wrapped up his Bizarro story that he did in Action, which was fantastic. And I'm excited. Gail Simone's arc is coming up in Action. And also Gail's X-Men stuff I'm excited for. Where's everybody going to be for Free Comic Book Day? Which is Saturday.
Oh yeah, comics in beautiful downtown Harrison, and Art Baltazar is going to be in comics in beautiful downtown Skokie.
Wow, that's
I
cool.
went to the comic book shop in Nepean.
Nepean?
I will be at Cave Comics in Newtown, Connecticut with Jerry Ordway tomorrow selling tickets to Terrificon.
And I
Jerry
expect
will be
to
throwing stuff.
at the very least go to Challengers, right down the street from me.
I
on
saw
West
those guys at C2E2. They always stop by. Very nice guys.
Oh no, Patrick and Dal are fantastic, and I might also try to go to Chicago Comics as well. That's again
I like that store.
Oh my God, listen, and Challengers, they're our friends and longtime friends, and they have an amazing quote newer store, although they've been around for almost 20 years now, so you can't call them a newer store anymore. But Chicago's Comics dates back to the 70s. It's a great location. It's a really interesting storefront in general, and they have everything. They literally have everything. It's a great bookstore beyond being a great comic book store.
Is Graham Cracker still in business?
Sure, they are.
Yes.
Okay.
And I
I
like people that work at Graham Crackers. I like a lot of people that work at Graham Crackers. That might tell you something about.
No, I went there back in the 90s.
I see them at the shows.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. No. They're still around. And my buddy Scott Larson's going to be at Alley Cat, another great Chicago store. We're not seeing any downturn of comic stuff, and I'm really glad that some of these big stores, they survived COVID and are thriving, which I'm glad to see. So there you go.
Oh, I just want to answer Mike Jones' comment about X-Men 97. I'm liking it too. Again, I agree with you. I hope they stick. It's interesting. They're dealing with storylines that are past when I left X-Men. So it's actually nice to see something that I have no knowledge of. I thought they handled life death really good, that it was a well told story. Kind of makes me want to go back and reread those 2 issues that Barry and Chris did.
What was I going to ask about? I was going to make a comment. I wonder how the second season is going to be, because I know the showrunner has left the project. the showrunner that did this first
Oh
season.
yeah. When it came out, he was like let go the day it was premiering.
Yeah, and it's so weird. It's so weird. Because I mean, I think it's great.
Did they call it X-Men '98 then?
I don't know. That's good. I would imagine they will. But it's funny. I think I'm the perfect lab rat for any X-Men product because I don't dislike them. I'm just indifferent.
Yeah,
and they're not it's not a massive selling point. I still haven't seen Dark Phoenix, for example.
The movie?
No, and I still haven't seen the New Mutants movie, for example.
Well, you're not missing much there. But the last Dark Phoenix movie, that sucked ass too. That was a horrible movie.
Yeah, but as we know, to bring it back to where we started, so does new Star Trek, and yet here I am every week. All right, great. What's going on? Fantastic. It sucks, but I'm still here.
Oh, I know.
So I don't know. But honestly, I've only watched, I think, 5 episodes of 97. It's good. It's really, really good. That and Masters of the Universe, the Kevin Smith.
I haven't watched that.
It's good. I mean, truly, like there are things that if you like superhero stuff and sci-fi stuff and fantasy stuff in general, those shows are delivering. So.
Did you see the guy that was in the Clint Eastwood movie about the Atlanta bomber? He won an Academy Award or something this year, or an Emmy. He just got cast in the Fantastic Four movie. I can't think of his name. He's got like 3 names.
The Richard Jewell movie, the guy who
the Richard Jewell movie, the main actor there. They just cast him for Fantastic Four today.
Isn't he the Thing?
No. The guy from what's that cooking show? He's the Thing. The Chicago.
Well, he was in The Punisher.
He's in The Bear.
The Bear, yeah, the guy that plays the brother or something, the Bear, whatever the druggy one. He's Ben Grimm. No, Rich. I can't think of the actor's name, but anyway, they just cast him today. I said he's going to be Willie Lumpkin. Everyone's like, no, he's going to be the Mole Man or something like that. I'm like, I don't know.
It was funny. I think I don't know what was going on with Ben Affleck, and Gail said, he's going to be Willie Lumpkin in the Fantastic Four movie. It's like, all right. I'm okay with that. I hope to have Gail on Word Balloon very soon with everything that's going on with her. She's up for it. I was worried because she wrote a very kind of just like, I'm up to here with podcasts. Everyone stop asking me. And I'm like, literally. And so I commented and I said, are we breaking up? Did I not see this coming?
No,
and I sent her an email. She's like, we're fine. Don't worry.
Didn't she show up? Did she show up in the chat of the podcast when we were on?
That's the great thing. Good Lord. She comes on the chat all the time when it's somebody that she's friendly with, which again is like the greatest compliment in the world because all we're doing is winding our watches and stuff. And it's like, hey, look, it's Gail Simone. Fantastic. So I don't know.
But, you take a break from stuff after a while.
Sure. Stanley, and this is something that who made this movie and why, says The Fall Guy was pretty good. Lots of action.
Oh, see, we should go see that next week.
Yeah, you know what? My mom and my sister went to see that tonight. I'll get the 86-year-old woman review tomorrow. She'll tell me if it was good or not.
Let's do a double feature next Thursday.
You want to do the my wife goes, what the hell? Are you going to take off all day? I go, I'm working, honey. How are we going to review movies if we don't do this? She goes, okay, for a podcast. Are you serious? I'm like, yeah.
Hey, do you write it off? You should, Mitch. I do.
I do. When I take Ordway, we go to the movies. I take that ticket stub.
Sure. No, that's
IRS,
legit.
man.
That's legit.
I saw Civil War tonight, and it was like a Hollywood
Who played Captain America?
An indie film with a Hollywood budget, and it had nothing really to do with the tensions
the current
happening in the political part. It dealt more with the interactions of the 4 journalists covering the story.
What? There's turmoil in the U.S. What?
Yeah,
it was really. My friend who she thought it was one of the best movies she's ever seen, and the sound is amazing. This whoever's responsible for sound did an amazing job with it.
That's Kirsten Dunst, right? That's Mary Jane and her husband.
I don't think she did the sound, Mitch.
Yeah, she did.
But
she's worked with Skywalker Sound with Ben Burtt.
No, it was. I thought it was an amazing film. It was again. It's like District 13. There's the other one. I think it's called Monster.
What's District 13?
That's the one with the South Africa guy.
District 9. District 9.
District 9. Sorry, District 9.
All right, sorry.
And then there's a one with, I think they take place in Australia, where the journalist is taking this American heiress across this landscape that's filled with monsters. Same thing. It's like a low budget setting.
Yeah.
And it just deals more with the interactions of the people. And I thought, oh man, it's great. Like it
that sounds more like Brian Wood's DMZ from Vertigo back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And of course they made the TV show of that only had one season.
You know what movie really sucks? I watched for the first time the other day. Get ready for this one. Jan Michael Vincent, George Papard, and
Damnation Alley.
You had me at hello.
Alley. Yeah.
Oh, Damnation Alley, sure.
My buddy goes, from Australia, he goes, hey, let's review that on our YouTube show. I go, I've never seen it. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, it came out in 1977. It was like when you went to the movies, you wanted to go see Star Wars or you wanted to go see Star Wars. You didn't go see Damnation Alley. And it's so funny. Fox put the money up they thought that was going to be the big hit. They were like, we're putting $19 million into Damnation Alley, and that Star Wars movie we'll give $10 million to. We don't give a shit. Oh my God, it is so bad, Damnation Alley. It's got Paul Winfield, Captain Terrell from Star Trek 2.
Terrell, sure.
Yeah, and then there's the mayor from Jaws is in it, but he never says a word. He's a general in the background.
Murray Hamilton, I believe is either Franklin or Hamilton, one of those two.
There's the guy. No, Bernie Hamilton was the police chief on Starsky and Hutch, the black guy. That's Bernie Hamilton.
No, I said Murray, but thanks.
Oh, Murray Hamilton. Yeah, but Bernie Hamilton's the other guy. But anyway, so I'm watching it. No, wait a minute. Was the guy from Jaws on Starsky and Hutch? But it's such a bad movie. But it was like 70s sci-fi shit. Remember when we watched the Omega Man, and I saw it was like the future sucks, and there's
a boy and his dog.
A boy and his dog. Yes,
DEFCON 4.
Before Mad Max. This was like the American version of that shit, and you're watching it going,
didn't they repurpose the big giant vehicle in Damnation Alley in the Saturday morning show?
Yeah, Arc 2. Yes.
Yeah. Sure. By the way, you can find tons of episodes of Arc 2 on YouTube. Everybody.
But you know what's so funny though? George Papard, I don't know what the hell he was. The Landmaster. That's the name of the vehicle. But Papard, what does he do? Jan Michael Vincent had to miss 4 days of filming because some of the locals gave him peyote, and he was so messed up he couldn't work for 4 days, so he's flipping out. George Papard's in his own movie. He's got a weird accent. No one knows what the hell he's doing. But
what I downloaded the other day
was good. They thought this was good. You're like, this sucks.
Within those genres, I downloaded because it was up on YouTube for free. Battle Beyond the Stars, and I really want to sit down. And
Richard Thomas.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. I really want to rewatch it. Oh, and Mike and I were talking. You see, Norton is the king of cheeseball, more 80s than 70s, but all those terrible throwaway 80s movies.
Oh,
and he hadn't seen Mark Altman's documentary series from last summer about 1982 being the best geek movie year ever.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Megaforce with Barry Bostwick.
Oh, that wasn't a good one.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say another Damnation Alley kind of level movie and stuff. But yeah, he literally is a connoisseur of an emphasis on connoisseur of these bad 80s movies.
Remember Richard Strauss and Molly Ringwald in Space Hunter: Adventures from the Forbidden Zone in 3D. Sure. I saw that son of a bitch in 3D.
I remember that because I was watching it in the theater, or I watched it on video. Yeah. And there's a scene where the ship flies in to this port, and if you look real carefully, and I happen to be looking, you can see the parking lot of the studio.
That's great.
The corner of that shot. So like in the upper corner, I'm like, wait a minute, those are cars, and the ship flies in over it. So yeah,
that's like the white van and Ben-Hur.
On one Star Trek episode, I don't know what happened. I was watching. I literally saw the edge of the bridge set, like there's Spock, and you can see the 2x4s behind it. And I'm like,
funny.
Wait a second. Did I never see that before? Because, TV was all fuzzy when we'd watch as a kid.
Sure.
Now it's high def.
Yeah,
and you're like,
because you're watching it on a box this big.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
11, and it's like the snow. And you got to adjust the antenna to try to get a good picture with the rabbit ears and stuff. nothing was clear and
And you're
crisp
wondering
now.
why you didn't see the 2x4 sets?
Yeah, I'm like, when was that there? And there it was. Like Kirk walks by, and you could literally see a bunch of like stage props in the back. I'm like, holy
Mitch,
crap!
I have a Terrificon memory, and I was kind of embarrassed that I brought it up, but I was talking to the great Reb Brown, 70s Captain America.
Oh yeah.
And he made in the early 90s this horrible space movie with Cameron Mitchell, and his wife was in it too. I want to say
Ator, Hunter of the Future.
Space. No, well, there's your Yog, Monster from Space, or not Yog, but yeah,
The
Yor.
Hunter from the Future.
Your.
Yeah, Yor. Yeah, but no, I didn't bring up Yor.
He
But
made
I
a
brought
lot of
up
shit movies.
Mystery Science Theater. Oh yes, thank you, Mike. Attaboy. Space Mutiny.
Space Mutiny.
And Mystery Science Theater, yes, thank you, Jikuro.
Everybody loves Space Mutiny, I guess.
But yeah, it's fun. It's terrible, but it's fun. And yeah, I'm like, oh, I saw it on Mystery Science Theater, and Reb's face just dropped, and he looked really upset. I'm like, Reb, I go, listen, you got to admit, it's not a great movie, but it's a lot of fun. And I said, they were just messing with you, Reb. You're great, man. I'm like, don't sweat it, man. I'm like, come on. And he goes, yeah, that's right. But wait, real fast, because in Space Mutiny, they have stock footage of spaceships and battleships, and they're all Galactica. It's all footage from the 70s Galactica show. So what were you going to ask, Mitch?
No, I was going to say, in the Damnation Alley, they must have had no money. I don't know what they spent the money on, maybe blow or something, but they have like stock footage of like missiles taking off, because it starts off with a nuclear war between Russia and the United States. Like, this is really dark, but everyone seems to be okay with the fact that the whole world was just nuked, because like several years later, and they're all
It'll be
like,
fine.
Yeah, but
fine.
again, it started in the early 70s.
Yeah,
all these apocalyptic movies, and we were worried about that. I mean, this is years after Soylent Green and Silent Running and all that. So yeah, it's just another post-apocalyptic movie. It's like, all right, whatever.
God, man, but no, it
You're
was
just naming all the movies that are in my collection.
Oh, I figured somebody's watching it, because I'm like,
well, and just like in the Ed Wood movie, that a lot of these producers would take stock footage to save money.
Like, who thought this was a
Plan
good
9
movie?
is amazing. It is a
Which one?
beautiful piece of
Plan
art.
9?
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh, listen, and I've heard Dana Gould make this same point on his podcast. It's like, it is so easy to crap on Ed Wood. Meanwhile, Ed Wood had 5 movies made. How many movies have you had made?
Wow.
I mean, it's like for the haters, it's like for whatever you want. That guy had tenacity.
Oh yeah,
and wanted to make his movies. And I agree with you, Wayne. I think Plan 9 is a very good looking, low budget, cheap movie. But man, those graveyard scenes are great.
He was the Roger Corman of his day.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
yeah. Well, it was still Roger Corman's day too, for that matter.
What's the guy who made the robot monster? Which was this a big gorilla suit with a fishbowl helmet?
With a deep dive. Yeah,
it wasn't George Powell.
No, right, we gotta look up Robot Monster. I
remember when you're a kid. When you're a kid and you watch those movies, you don't know they're meant to be bad or cheap. I was like, oh, this is a freaking scary movie. And then I grew up and like, what the hell? That was a piece of crap, that thing. Remember the one with Forrest Tucker that had the crawling eyeballs? Like they were like brain things? I think it was called The Crawling Eye. But or the Tingler or something,
Phil Tucker was the director of Robot Monster.
Monster.
God, I'm so glad you brought that up, Mitch, because really Svengoolie revealed something very interesting, and that is, hold on, I want to get back to our screen because I did some research to make sure that George Pell did not do Robot Monster.
No,
but there's a handful of classic crappy sci-fi movies from the 50s. Teenage Werewolf with Michael Landon, Teenage Frankenstein with Gary Conway, Robot Monster is one of them as well. And they're all owned by this estate where the widow is in charge of the estate. And she was so offended by Mystery Science Theater parroting, I believe, Robot Monster, that she's like, as long as I live, none of these movies will ever be on comedy shows making fun of them.
Oh, no kidding.
Because Sven has tried for years to get Teenage Werewolf and Teenage Frankenstein and Robot Monster. And he's like, we ask every year, and we get a polite decline of, nope, sorry, we don't do that. And it's crazy because, what other use is there for, especially Michael Landon's first movie, Gary Conway from Land of the Giants is Teenage Frankenstein. However, the sequel to Teenage Frankenstein, How to Make a Monster, it's not a real sequel, but it's the same makeup, and it's kind of this meta movie where a mad scientist is purposely creating this kind of freak sort of monster and stuff. And Gary Conway once again has the teenage Frankenstein makeup on and stuff.
No, I watched the making of the Forbidden Planet movie. It was Leslie Nielsen's first picture, with Anne Francis and the Robbie the Robot and all that stuff. Man,
great
movie.
movie.
They spent on that thing back in the day. It was like, holy crap.
But it's a great movie.
Yeah, no, it's a very good movie.
You know that Gene Roddenberry had that in mind when he created
Star Trek. The whole Star Trek Federation type of thing. They ripped that off.
It's the first contact mission. I mean, really, everybody. Leslie Nielsen essentially is a Kirk, and the Doctor is essentially a McCoy. I want to say Richard Anderson and Earl Holliman also.
Earl Holliman's the cook. Yep.
Right. Yep. With Robbie the Robot making booze.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Planet of the Vampires by Mario Bava?
Yes, I have.
No.
Oh, amazing film.
Isn't Rathbone? Rathbone's in that one, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yep. G. Carollo says that Toho also doesn't like the Mystery Science Theater Godzilla films, and then also says Shout Factory had to buy the license for the Gamera films because the owners don't get or like the riff versions for the Gamera movies. I had no idea until I spoke to Matt Fraction about the Monarch show that Gamera was not Toho stuff because
it's not. It's a competing studio.
But it's amazing. They're fun. They're a lot of fun.
You know who's getting a lot of good reviews, and that's a movie we should go see, but I think it's probably on pay-per-view already, so I don't even want to go out now and see it, is Dave DeSmulchin's movie, The Late Night with the Devil or something. Yeah. It's like a talk show.
I think it's on Shudder.
Is it already on?
I thought it's on Netflix as well, but
he will be at Terrificon on August 16th to the 18th. They're giving out free autographs and free selfies, kids. Meet Dave DeSmulchin, star of many movies, Ant-Man movies, and he's in a zillion things.
Yeah, he's part of
Suicide Squad, the Polka Dot
the Russian that's part of Paul Rudd's crew in the Ant-Man movies.
Right. But
he has his comic book.
Right, he's Polka Dot Man as well in Suicide
Really
Squad.
Good reviews, so make sure if you want to meet that.
Yeah,
guy.
I'm hearing
he's
great
also
things.
Count Crawley.
He writes a comic. It's like a Svengoolie takeoff. It's a
he's on Svengoolie all the time too.
Is he really?
Yeah, he shows up on Svengoolie.
Oh, I don't know. The guy's everywhere, man.
Oh yeah.
Nice guy.
Well, like I said, I've been trying to connect Gary Conway with Sven to talk about Teenage Frankenstein, but also I had him on a year or two ago because Alex Ross, when he did his full graphic novel of the Fantastic Four, Full Circle, he drew Reed to look like Gary Conway, and Gary was thrilled. Gary's like, man, I'm 90 years old and I'm finally in a Marvel.
I was going to say, how old is he?
But he is razor sharp. He has great memories of Land of the Giants and all these movies. And then in the 80s, he was a very successful screenwriter. And among his films that he wrote the horrible, I won't call it that when I talk to him, but the horrible Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie, Over the Top.
Over the Top.
That was not horrible.
Yes, it was
not.
It was the definitive arm wrestling,
underground
arm wrestling
That's
movie
true.
Of our generation.
I used to make fun of the song that Kenny Loggins did the theme song for it, or the closing theme song, and it was called "Meet Me Halfway." Very good, Franco. That's great. And I used to call it the love theme from Over the Top.
You make fun of me for Who's Zooming Who. Why would I not know "Meet Me Halfway" from Kenny Loggins?
You gotta understand, Franco. My hatred of those songs is I had to play them 5 days a week on my radio station, and I'm like, crap.
No, nowadays, like you ask anybody, I listen to Little Machine Gun Guy, Little Uzi, and this, and I have no idea who any of these people are. But you ask me about any 80s song, and I will tell you who.
Hearts on Fire.
DeBarge, I can tell you.
Randy Meisner.
It was the closing to Rocky V. Hearts on Fire.
Oh, that's different. That's Survivor. But I was thinking it was also a Hearts on Fire by Randy Meisner.
All right, here's one for you, Franco. Take the L out of Lover, and it's over.
That's not even a song, Mitch.
Yes, it is.
It must be a lyric from a song. It's not the title.
No, that was the title of the song.
Oh, I don't remember the song.
L out of Lover, and Martha Davies in the Motels.
No, that's
wow. Oh man, that's like, you see, that's why I love MeTV Radio, which is created here in Chicago, but it's syndicated and you could stream it. And they would play the third hit from Martha and the Motels.
Yeah.
I mean, they always do deep cuts of, like I always say, Helen Reddy. They play like 10 Helen Reddy songs.
God.
And it's not just Delta Dawn and I Am Woman and Angie
Yeah.
Baby. It's like, oh no, there's
Wilbur.
several more that managed to be on the charts. I'm like, okay.
I used to love all that shit. Remember, there was I Know the Secrets That You Keep When You Talk in Your Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure, the Romantics. Yeah,
The Romantics. That's right. Right.
They also
Here's
did
one-
what I Like About You.
One that no one ever gets. You Ain't Worth the Salt in My Tears. Who sang that?
That'd be Martin Briley.
Martin Briley. Yes, I tell this. I had a girl, young lady work for me named Megan Briley from Chicago, from Wheaton.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I used to say,
that's
Martin
the
Briley's
best,
sister.
because
She never knew what the hell.
all the breakup songs are sad. Like, oh, my girl left me, and this guy's like, no, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. You're not worth the salt of my tears. And it's like, that's a great song, man. If you want to feel better after a bad romance,
What's the song that's playing at the end of Last American Virgin? As the kid's driving away after he finds his girl.
Isn't it Open Arms or whatever? Isn't it Journey in Open Arms?
No,
That
it's
is-
Ingram, James Ingram song.
Okay, so the guy
Which
who
one?
starred in Last American Virgin, his name was Joe Rubo.
Yes.
He went to my high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what's the song that plays at the end when he drives
Go
away?
ahead, Mitch, I don't remember. Go ahead.
The girl that he helped get the abortion ends up going
Right.
back to the guy that got her pregnant, and he shows up at the party, he sees her, he drives off, and there's a tear in his eye. The song was, I did my best, but my best wasn't
Just
good
once?
enough.
Yeah, just once, James Ingram. Wow.
Yeah.
God,
Just once.
Well,
I don't know about you,
they don't show that
theater
movie in
experience.
21 states now. So
What?
I don't know about your guys' theater experience seeing that movie, but when that ending happened and they rolled the credits,
Yeah.
the audience booed, which was just
Really?
fantastic. Absolutely, man. All us horny teenagers are like, all right, well, the nerd gets the girl. No. And the audacity of the woman to then go back to the guy that basically knocked her up and everything.
Yeah. But that girl,
go ahead.
that actress, she was in another movie. Was it the Rodney Dangerfield? Was that? Remember, he went back to school.
Back to
What where he went back to school?
I don't think she's in.
What
that.
was
always
the
remember,
movie?
son, you're a
She-
melon. Yeah.
She's in two other movies from the 80s. She's one
Yeah.
of the historical babes in the Bill and Ted movies. First of all,
That's it. Views of Bill and
and
Ted.
she's in Better Off Dead.
She's a French girl. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the French girl.
Really?
in Better Off Dead.
That Dan Snyder, the creepy guy from the Nickelodeon, was
Right, Ricky. He's the fat guy that's after her. But my good friend Mr. Skin, his documentary about the history of nudity in film, they interview her in the movie. I think because of Last American Virgin, because I think she's naked in that movie. But oh god, that's so funny. Here, Jikaro had no idea about Gary being used as a model for Reed. Yeah, it's true. It's totally true. I got that confirmation from Alex himself.
Was her name Diane Franklin? Is that what somebody's posting here?
Yes, Diane
that's
Franklin.
the actress.
Such a
sounds
hottie.
familiar, yeah.
You see in a lot of you see a lot of her in Anytime Lucky Sans clothes. That's cool. All right, I'll admit this. I was trying to find this 90s Joan Severance movie.
Which one? Like Consequence.
I think no. That you can find. It's called
Black
In the Dark.
Scorpion.
Black Scorpion.
Let's
In
go.
a dark. It's called In a Dark Place or
In a dark place. Yeah.
Wait. Is that where she plays a waitress and they make out and all the flour? Or is that
No, that's Red Shoe
the
Diaries.
I was gonna say that's one of the Zalman King movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not streaming anywhere. I don't think it was ever made into a DVD. I can only find like VHSs on eBay. I'm like, all right. Even though I still own a VHS for that very reason, if God forbid I find something like that.
Just to
But-
watch old Joan Severance movies. She was on the new Love Boat with Robert Urich, so she had a regular career.
Oh my God. Oh, please. She made a ton of movies.
Yes,
made
she
a
did.
ton of movies. And she's in
She was the Gene Wilder picture, See No Evil.
right,
She was
right.
a wise
with
guy.
Richard
Yeah.
Pryor. And I was gonna say
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
She and Kevin Spacey were the
She was
creepy
Kevin
brothers.
Spacey's sister, yeah.
The toes nose.
The toes
He'd get
nose.
shoot up- He'd get shot up with cocaine in his toes.
He will not be coming to Terrificon, even though he's been offered to me. I do
New
have some-
new
I have
documentary.
some standards. believe
New
it or
British documentary about Kev that's out there. Kev, 'cause we're tight.
not. Kev, like this.
Don't bring it up to poor Anthony Rapp, who was traumatized by him. Yeah.
So was my
Well, there
friend
you go.
Michael Berry back in 1987, but that's a story that I knew back then. So anyway,
I had no idea.
The Long Wharf Theater,
yep.
New Haven,
We
Connecticut.
wrap. Good Lord, this went about another half hour than I expected, and I loved all the directions that it went into. We may not know, we may not be up, other than Wayne, we may not be up on current stuff, but we got you covered on all your classic.
I saw a picture of Gene Hackman, and they said, "Oh, he's wearing the same clothes he had on 2 weeks ago." I said, "Bitch, please! I wear the same clothes every effing day." But and I didn't win an Academy Award, and I'm not 92 years old.
I gotta consciously change my shirt to be on this show because I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what if I wore it?
Yeah, what if I wore that?
He's God bless him.
Just wear Terrificon clothes all day. It's like it's underneath my clothes.
For being his age, I'm so glad that he's still with us and still writing novels. Gene Hackman, but he's
writes
got
novels.
Yeah, but he likes suspense novels and things.
Yeah.
Go on Amazon. But he, I mean, it would be weird to see him in a movie today because he's really, God bless him, in his 90s, but he's got kind of a potato face. Face is starting to sag a little bit. So,
fucking 92 years old, man.
I just said that. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Wait, is he 92 years old?
Yeah, he's got a potato face. I hear.
How can you say that? He's 92. All right, that's more than enough. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Yeah, I'm going to say yes because guess what? We still have 4 more episodes of this complete.
Oh my god!
Oh,
my phone died.
To get through. So yeah, we'll see about next week. No set plans for a day that will be next Friday.
I might be not around for the last episode. I can't believe it.
Oh, aren't you going to be at Lake Como?
Yeah, so anybody wants to break into my house, genius, tell them where I'm going to be.
You've been talking about it all the time.
Yeah, but maybe amongst us and maybe not.
Yeah, maybe, behind the scenes.
Dumbass. All right.
If anybody wants Maine's home address,
don't worry.
Right here.
Don't worry. Only 300 people are watching live right now.
That's good, Wayne. That's good.
So
I'm going to leave the AF-15 on the front table, so you don't have to wreck anything.
Oh, thanks, Chikaroho. He says thanks for the stream. Everyone, thanks for the fun. Good night. Sleep well. Remember, exactly, free comic book day is tomorrow.
Right, tomorrow. Go to bed.
Yeah. No, thanks, everybody, for watching. As always, it means a lot that you give a damn about our ridiculous comments. Live long and prosper, unlike the crew of Discovery that sucks.